Men and women all over the globe are joining now for the best videos on the internet.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
And I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you? Click the subscribe button now to become a member of the Action Pack. Would you like to know more?
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Mike and with me today is
Shakima.
Do you like vertically challenged, slightly overweight plumbers? How about cartoons? Well, if you do, you may just like the movie that is the subject of today's video. This is Mike's After Action Reviews, and this is the After Action Review for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Okay, everybody, so before we get started with going into the movie's production and all of that, we have Shakima here with us today. She's joining us to do the review. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have this product line and all this stuff.
Yes,
we're going to do a little shout out here for Shakima.
Awesome.
So you work with my wife. Mm-hmm. You don't have to tell people what you do. You can if you'd like to.
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Okay, so there you go. And so tell us about your stuff and just take it away. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Shakima Meadows. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, born and raised, and I'm a teacher by day, but I'm also a business owner by night. I am the CEO and founder of Luxury Girl the Empire, where we are home of the hydrating and restoring aloe and peppermint shampoo and conditioner, where it strips none of the nutrients from your hair. It only puts it in.
Okay, awesome. And then so let's look at this real quick so you have, what is this product?
This is my shampoo.
Okay, so this is a shampoo. I'm gonna hold it up. I don't know how good you guys can see it from here, so I'm gonna hold it up a little bit. Okay, Luxury Girl the Empire. All right, so here we go. This is this one, and then what is this other product you have?
And this is my conditioner.
Okay, cool. And do you have more products than just the shampoo?
No,
and
it's just the shampoo and conditioner for now, but more products to come for sure.
Okay, okay, excellent. And then you sell this online?
Actually right now we are just through Instagram. I had a pop-up shop recently and I do have a pre-order list, but I don't have a website right now, but it's coming. LGTE Beauty. Okay. That's my Instagram tag.
There we go. We got there. Shakima's nervous.
Yes,
so everybody,
I am.
This is the first
Excuse
time.
Me.
No, that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. The first time is always the people are always nervous, and then hopefully we can get you back for another review. I think we usually have a good time. So
sounds good.
You guys, if you're a viewer of my channel, you guys know we have people on and we have a good time. So. Okay. So then we'll move forward with looking at the movie here. So the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We're going to look at the production company. So there were two. All of this is from IMDb, and on IMDb there are three production companies. It mentions Nintendo, but Nintendo is just the person or the people that own the intellectual property. So actually, they didn't really have anything to do with the movie. They just gave the rights to. They had two actual production companies, which are Universal Pictures, which according to IMDb, okay, I say this every video because sometimes people comment and they're like, that's not right. I'm like, according to IMDb. Okay, so take it up with IMDb.
Right.
Universal Pictures is most well known for Renfield, which came out earlier this year in 2023. And then most recently they did Fast X, which just released. Wasn't it a week ago?
I'm assuming so.
No, I think it was. I think it was a week ago. I didn't watch Fast X.
Me either.
I know I do the movie review, so you might think that I should know, but that was one that I knew was coming out, and I didn't plan on reviewing it. So I didn't. But anyway, so that released earlier, just a week or two ago, as of recording, and then also Illumination Entertainment. Which is most well known for Puss in Boots: The Last Wish from 2022, and then Minions: The Rise of Gru is their most recent movie that they've done other than this one and Puss in Boots, which was also released in 2022. So you didn't watch Fast X. Did you see Renfield?
No.
So Renfield is the one with Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And he's Dracula.
Okay.
Okay.
I seen Puss in Boots though. I did see that movie.
Okay,
It was
what'd you
pretty
think?
decent. It was pretty decent. I think there's definitely gonna be a sequel to Shrek because they like the ending. It was like it kind of veered off and they say far away land. I was like, that seemed like it's gonna be another Shrek.
So I'm going to tell you, actually, when I was doing the review for this, I look all this stuff up on IMDb. I just not jot down these notes. It actually says that there is a Shrek.
Okay.
I want to say it's supposed to come out next year.
Okay, that should be good.
So Shrek, it says Shrek reboot.
Okay,
So
yeah.
probably like a soft reboot. I don't think that they're gonna like redo the characters.
Oh yeah.
I just mean like they're restarting that.
Yeah, that should be good though.
Have you seen Minions?
Nope.
Okay, so Minions is fun. It has Steve Carell. You know who Steve Carell is, okay, from The Office. Have you seen The Office? Okay, so you guys know Ellie. Ellie and I are big Office fans. We have the box set. We've watched it like 10 times. All the way
Yeah, I
through.
just watched it on TV.
We always skip the one where he goes to the school and it's Scott's Tots.
I don't remember.
That's where he promised these kids he would send them to college if they passed.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
So he's in that. He's the main character of that, and he does.
Okay.
Really, it's animated, so it's voice work. But it's. I think that. So there's quite a few of them. So sorry. That's Despicable Me. Minions is an offshoot of Despicable Me with Steve Carell.
I get what you mean. Though.
Yeah. So those are good. Renfield I didn't see. Fast X I didn't see, but Universal Pictures is they put out good work. Illumination though, I do just want to say this. Have you seen any Disney movies lately that are not Marvel movies, any animated?
Not that I can remember.
So this year, and at the end of the year, if you're interested, you can come. You're invited because you've come and done a review. We do a summit.
Okay.
And we talk, and I bring everybody back together, and we just talk about the year, and how it did. And this year, Disney's, let's see, I think it was actually like late last year. Yeah, sorry, but like Lightyear. Elemental is coming out. Strange World. Those are three that are off the top of my head that Disney has released lately that are animated movies that all actually failed and did really bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did really bad. So they actually lost money.
Wow.
And so that's Disney and Pixar. But Illumination did this movie, and Illumination has been doing really well.
Wow.
So this is like a big deal for Illumination to make this movie, which this review is coming out a little late, but so we have some box office numbers. This movie is breaking box office number. It's like over $1 billion.
Yeah, I seen that article. I was just telling your wife about that. It surpassed like numbers, so it was pretty exciting to see that.
And I'm gonna get into the box office numbers in the next action update, so watch for that, guys, and I'll put it on shorts and stuff. But yeah, so it's breaking records. People are saying that there's a possibility that it could beat Frozen for the #1 animated movie of all time.
You think so?
But even if it doesn't, it's already at the third spot.
Yeah.
It's the third most highest grossing one.
Wow.
And then one of the things was that like it released in America and then it released a couple weeks later in other countries.
Oh wow, okay.
So so it's just now being released in other countries. So it's still doing
still doing some numbers, yeah.
The production companies though, Illumination is really great. It's not Pixar and it's not Disney, but Disney and Pixar have kind of fallen away. That they've lost a step, and so maybe Illumination is going to
coming up, yeah.
Yeah, and then Universal Pictures is good. So then moving on, we have the writing staff. So this was written by a man named Matthew Fogel, and he's only done 5 movies. Actually, I'm going to tell you, the production of this is amazing. So no offense.
You're fine.
But you're probably not so much into like looking up productions and directing. No. The production of this as we go through this is amazing.
Okay.
The team behind this is amazing because this guy, Matthew Fogel, he wrote this. And there's a picture up here behind us. He's only done 5 movies.
Wow.
Minions: The Rise of Gru is his most well-known one that was in 2022.
Okay.
And then the Lego Movie 2, the second part, was in 2019, was his most recent movie other than the ones mentioned in this one. Okay. But he's only done 5 movies. And I think the earliest one he did was like in 2012. So he's like very
Still new, yeah.
Okay. For a movie that's making over $1 billion and is possibly going to become the most.
And he created this Mario movie?
Like he wrote it, yeah.
Oh, okay,
he wrote the
wow.
whole thing. You know, and obviously whenever you have like an intellectual property like Nintendo had to approve it, or maybe they worked with him or something. But he is listed as the writer for
Wow.
this. So
That's pretty neat.
yeah, only 5 movies. And
Wow.
then, so what was it? I think they said like Da Vinci. The first thing that Da Vinci made was the praying hands. I think he was the praying hands guy. I'm not an art guy.
Yeah,
you know the praying hands, right? Okay. It's just funny. That's like this guy. He comes in. He's only done a couple little things, then he makes like $1 billion movie.
That's all it takes.
Da Vinci doing the praying hands was his first piece of art ever. You know, that's Anyway, little juxtaposition. Okay, so then, but anyway, so written there. I've the Minions Rise of Gru. I saw the Minions Rise of Gru. There was Minions 2 that I didn't see, but I saw Minions, or maybe it was Minions and the Minions Rise of Gru was the second one.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was before. It was before I was a YouTuber. I liked Minions Rise of Gru. I thought it was good. Steve Carell played Gru. Okay, those were good. The Lego Movie 2, I didn't think. Did you see the first one? The Lego Movie. You didn't see Rise of Gru either. Okay, so the Lego Movie came out. It had Chris Pratt.
Okay,
and he was the little Lego guy. Good. First movie was really good. Second movie I thought was okay. It wasn't as good as the first, but I mean it was okay. So that's good. So the writing, but having only done 5 movies, it's just amazing, including this one. So he's only done 4 other movies.
Right.
It's very interesting that he came out and now we have like this huge movie. Now, what makes it even more interesting is the directors. So get this. So this movie had 4 directors. Top billed director was Aaron Horvath. Now, he's only done 4 directorial credits.
Wow.
So that means he's done 3 other than this movie. His most well-known is Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which was an animated movie in 2018.
Okay.
Honestly, not a very popular one, but it goes with the Teen Titans show.
Right.
Have you seen the Teen Titans show? Okay. Have you seen the Teen Titans show, or have you seen the new Teen Titans Go?
Well, I've seen like the old school Teen Titans, yeah.
Right there, because the new one is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then he did the Teen Titans Go television series. He wrote from 2013 to 2016 in that. Okay. So no movies except for the Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Okay, so that's so that guy has 4 directorial credits. Okay, now the next guy who directed it, so there's 3 other directors. These will go real quick because Michael Jelenic, picture behind me, he has no other directorial credits.
Wow.
Not even, actually, it's funny because it's listed. He's listed on this movie as a director, but if you go to his IMDb page, this movie is not on his IMDb.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said no other directorial credits, not even for this movie. But he primarily works as a writer or producer. Then you have Pierre Leduc, or Leduc, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. He has no other directorial credits. He works primarily as an animator, so one of the guys that actually draws the characters and works them in the computer for
So a lot of new people coming out.
That's right. And then the last one is Fabian Pollock, who only has 7 other projects at all.
Wow.
And he works as an animator or visual effects person, and he's directed one thing, which is Yellow is the New Black, which was a short related to Minions in 2018.
Wow.
So all of these people are like brand new.
Right.
All of the people that were directly in control of what this movie was going to be have almost nothing to do with being a director, a producer, or anything for the rest of.
You only need that one movie and it'll set you up.
Well, something that we talk about often here at Mike's After Extra Reviews is basically the stories that we tell ourselves and culture and how all of these things are really important. And you see in these movies, a lot of times, since I've been a YouTuber, you see the writing staff, people come up. Like you'll see different people and you'll be like, oh, I remember him from that movie.
Right.
These guys have a clean slate.
Right.
And Hollywood has been, I think that everybody can agree, most people would agree that Hollywood just has been going down.
Right.
Not doing so well lately.
Right.
It does not surprise me that somebody who is completely separate from any of the crap that's been coming out of Hollywood comes in and goes, I'm going to show you how to make a movie now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah, actually, this is like the shortest amount of time we're ever going to spend on production because none of these guys have made anything.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, it is, and that's why it was so interesting. I was watching, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Okay, so then music, newer category. I guess it's not a newer category now. We've been talking, I've been doing this for a while now. So music, though, originally Koji Kondo, or Kondo. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name, but he did the original music for Mario, so he's credited for the music, but he didn't actually do the music for this movie.
Okay.
He just was the guy that actually wrote
Right.
the original theme. And then Brian Tyler, he did the music for, he was the composer for, most well known for Avengers Age of Ultron, and then also did most recently Fast X. He was part of Fast X too. So normally at this point in the video, in the review here, we talk about like, what do you think? Like, obviously, Universal Pictures, good. That, you know, it's not Asylum. Like, you probably don't even know what Asylum is. Asylum is a production company that makes bad movies.
Oh, okay.
Like almost intentionally. So whenever you see Asylum, you can know like, oh,
this is gonna be some.
Yeah. So Universal Pictures,
Right.
That's good. Illumination, good. Everybody else though, if I hadn't already seen the movie, I wouldn't know whether this was going to be good or not, which is just really interesting. I don't really know exactly what to say about it, but I'll just say, yeah, it's moving forward. We're going to talk about the quality of the movie. We're going to see how these guys did. But like we said, it has already made $1 billion, more than $1 billion, and is possibly going to be the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Possibly.
Wow.
We don't know if it's going to do it yet, but
Because there's not another Mario movie. This is like the first Mario movie,
it's
right?
the first animated one.
Oh, okay,
so
right.
the original Mario movie was in the 90s, and it was live action.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it did terribly.
Oh,
It's supposed to be one of the worst movies ever.
wow. No,
in
I
fact,
didn't know
most of
that.
the people, just a little trivia, when they made the original movie, it came out, it didn't do well. But they said that they all had a really fun time making it because most of the time they were either drunk or high on set.
Oh, Lord.
They said that they all knew. They were like, this movie's terrible.
Right. Well, then let's have fun.
But yeah, I can't remember the name of the main actor, but then Luigi was played by this Leguizamo guy who's, I can't remember his first name, I just remember his last name because it's weird. Okay, so there you go. That's the production. It's really, getting into how the quality of the thing is interesting, just considering we basically have an amateur team here making this movie. So, but moving forward, okay, so into the plot. So this movie is 1 hour and 32 minutes long.
Okay.
Do you think that it felt longer or shorter? Or,
I feel like it was short. I feel like the movie was kind of rushed, low key. I feel like they were kind of put so much into, like, maybe because this is the first animated, they were trying to put so much into this movie.
Okay.
But I feel like it was good, but I feel like it could have been, the storyline could have been drawn out a little bit more, honestly.
Okay. I felt like the movie, so I kind of, it's like I agree with you, but I maybe I have a little different.
Yeah.
It felt like they put a lot in. So to me, it felt like the movie was longer, like in a good way, though.
Yeah,
it was like there's a lot in here. So when I looked and saw how, I thought it was basically like a 2-hour movie, and I was like, it felt like a 2-hour movie. It felt like they put basically, it's a good thing because it's like they put 2 hours of movie into an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But I do agree, probably with how successful this has been.
Right.
If they do which they're
gonna come out with another one.
when they do a sequel, they'll be able to have a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
As far as is it going to like how long the movie's going to be and stuff like that. Because originally this movie was predicted to possibly, I want to say early predictions before it came out was that it was going to do okay but not great.
Wow.
And it's really it's really done really well. Okay, so it's an hour and 32 minutes. Plot. The IMDb plot summary is as follows. There's two. I will read them both. So this is the story of the Super Mario Bros. On their journey through the Mushroom Kingdom. That's a dumb one because it's too small.
Right.
Okay, the next one is better though. It says a Brooklyn plumber named Mario travels through the Mushroom Kingdom with a princess named Peach and an anthropomorphic mushroom named Toad to find Mario's brother Luigi and to save the world from a ruthless, fire-breathing Koopa named Bowser. Okay, so I have some points I'm gonna make. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'm not wearing shoes and socks. I'm gonna put my foot down so you don't see anymore. Anyway, so what did you think? Just the story. So not the characters, not. Just the story. What did you think about, like, if I came to you and I said, here's the story, what do you think?
I thought it was kind of neat that they had them as plumbers because, you know, I just would have never thought they would have gave them some, like, a sort of backstory. I didn't know they had a family. Honestly, I mean, I knew they were Italian, but...
Well, you know this came from a video game.
Yeah, I know it came from a video game, but I never.
It was a plumber.
Oh yeah, honestly, I never played the video game, so
No. So
I played sometimes, but not. Honestly, I didn't know the background of Mario at all.
Yeah.
So I seen the movie, of course, because my sister. Well, of course, I have a nephew, and he went to go see it, so we all went. So that's just kind of how I seen the movie, but I didn't really know any of the backstory or anything.
So what did you like the story? Any other points?
I think it was good. Again, I felt like it felt like the movie was kind of rushed, and with me not knowing a lot about Mario, I kind of felt like I was missing some of the main points of where the story originated from and things like that. But I think the storyline was good.
Yeah. So I will say it's interesting though, because you talk about the plumber thing. That is something I hadn't thought about until you said it. But for people who haven't played the video games or maybe aren't familiar, like Mario is a plumber. It came from the video game. Do you think that you need to have known more?
No, I think the way the writers, honestly, the way they, just the storyline throughout the movie, it was pretty decent. I don't think I had to know any of the background to know that, but after watching the movie, people started telling me, I'm like, oh, okay, so now I know where this point came from. But no, honestly, I don't think you need to know any background.
I don't want to talk for you, but and obviously I'm sharing my own opinions as well. But just listening to you from your perspective, it sounds to me like this is you can go see it without knowing Mario, but if you know Mario,
it's gonna be good. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Because there are some little things like they talk about the blue shell. For people who don't know anything about Mario, you're not gonna know. But that's from the video game.
Okay.
And so like Mario Kart, one of the things is the blue shell. It's a weapon that you use and. It's just when the way they talk about it in the movie, it is something where it's like, I hate those people using the blue shell, So I think that the plot summary was basically good here. It's a pretty simple A to B story. So you have your heroes, they're living their lives, a bad thing happens, and then they got to deal with a bad guy to save everybody. And that's it.
Yeah.
I always compare to bring it back to like Avengers. Endgame, where it's like all these moving parts, or Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, they have all these moving parts. It's really complicated and all works, and it's really done really well, but there are a lot of moving parts. There's not so many moving parts. I would say probably in the first half hour, not even half hour, like 20 minutes, you kind of get where we're going.
Right, exactly.
There's no twists and turns here. We kind of just get where we're going.
Right.
Okay, so, they go into the sewer. They're plumbers. They get sucked in through a magical sewage pipe into the Mushroom Kingdom. I would say that this is kind of a fish out of water type of story for Mario, because he's like, this magical... So Mario and Luigi are from basically what would be our world.
Okay.
And then in the movie, they get brought to a magical world. So you do get that kind of like fish out of water. Wow, like magic. And,
right.
Oh, look at this cool stuff and these things. So that's kind of a cool thing, just letting you guys know, kind of a fish out of water. You do have something from the video games is that Bowser, no spoilers, but I'm going to say that. Bowser, he's looking for stars. He's looking for the stars. Now, in the video game, the whole thing is you go through the levels, you eventually get to Bowser's castle, one of Bowser's castles. Fight the boss, beat the thing, you get a star.
Okay.
So Bowser in this, there is a star. He's trying to get the star to gain power, and then he's going to take over the world. So that was cool to see them really using the intellectual property very well. Like, this is not a reskin of a children's story.
Right.
Like a children's story with Mario characters in it. This is a Mario story. And they use the intellectual property to tell that story. This could probably have been, like, if you took the plot of this, you could make a truly faithful Mario video game from the plot of this movie.
That's good then, yeah.
Just because that's, like, basically what happened. Like, everything that happens in this movie is, like, exactly like what you would play through in the games.
Awesome.
You haven't seen the games, though, but the games traditionally are the 3D side-scroller. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have the Game Boy, you have your character, you're like running up and you're jumping.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
You know, and yeah, it's you're trying to you're just a little guy running across the screen. That's the Mario games.
Okay.
So when you see some of the stuff, like there's even a scene, and I'll mention it later, but there's a scene where he's in the beginning of the movie, you know, where he runs through the construction yard. That's what the Mario game.
Oh, okay.
That's what the game looks like.
Okay.
When you're playing the game and you're like jumping, and then there'll be like a bad guy, you got to jump on the bad guy's head.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that it is good. I think it's good. It's simple, nothing too complicated. Yeah. So then moving. So I think we'll move forward.
Okay, sounds
so
good to
moving
me.
in the meat of this thing is the characters and acting. So I'm going to run through the characters and acting really quick, and then we'll talk about them. But first, I'm going to introduce them. This is the first time we're doing this. Let me know in the comment section down below. Usually, what we do is I name the actor or whatever, and then we talk about that character.
Okay.
That takes forever.
Okay.
I'm going to name them all, and then we're just going to go feel our thoughts on characters and acting.
Sounds good.
So we have Chris Pratt. He plays Mario, and he's most well known for Guardians of the Galaxy from 2014. And also he was in Thor and Love and Thunder, most recently in 2022. Anya Taylor-Joy plays Princess Peach. She's most well known for The Queen's Gambit, which was a TV miniseries on Netflix in 2020. She also most recently did Amsterdam from 2022. You have Charlie Day. You know who that is, right? Okay, so he was. You don't know who Charlie Day is? You're gonna know right now. So he played Luigi, Mario's brother. He was in Fool's Paradise, most well known for that. Earlier this year in 2023, he's also in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. No.
I think I'm like, who is this girl?
No. Okay. So, yeah. So so it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a TV series. Started in 2005. It's still going to this day.
Okay.
Little piece of trivia within it, because it's in its 15th season.
Wow.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has become the longest running live action American comedy series. It's currently now has replaced The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which ran for 14 seasons or 435 episodes between 1952 and 1966. So great job. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I have to check that out.
And Charlie Day, yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it. It's all right. It's just basically a bunch of crazy, really bad people doing schemes and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
should be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. He's from This Is the End. He's also was in the Amazon series Invincible, which is still running. It started in 2022. He's going to be in the next season of it as well. Jack Black, I think, really steals the show.
Oh, yeah. That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, School of Rock in 2003 is he's most well known for, and then most recently he did one episode of the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian in season 3 from 2023. Don't watch season 3.
Don't watch it.
The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 were very great. Not just good. They were very, very great. Maybe even excellent. I'll say excellent. The third season,
Oh, man.
okay, so what did you think of the acting and so first of all, a big part of the characters here is because they're animated. I thought the animation was great.
Yeah. I thought it was
I really
good.
liked it. Vibrant, colorful. Now we've had a lot of movies now recently. Well, like for instance, they have The Little Mermaid coming out. Have you seen the trailers? They're very dark.
Yeah, they are.
I want bright things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what made me watch the movie, because I guess that's why I'm a kindergarten teacher. I love lights. I love brightness. So that's what kind of draw me to the movie. Like, everything is like this. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and a lot of high energy. I thought that a lot of high energy with the characters and the color scheme and everything. Any specific things you want to say about just the characters and the acting specifically?
I mean, just Bowser in general, the character was just like, even again, without knowing the movie really, I know Jack Black's voice, so I knew exactly who that was. So
yeah.
I just think he kind of just made the movie for me because I knew him.
I remember in the trailer when the people come out, and it's in the movie, so this is no spoiler, but it's in the beginning of the movie, and it was the big trailer, that the teaser trailer when they announced this movie was the guy, the people coming out, it's the snow people, and they're all like the heavy music playing, and their weapons, and they they throw a bunch of like ice and snowballs at Bowser, and then the guy's like, "Huh, that's only a piece of our fury. Do you surrender?" And then Bowser and it's just Jack Black, and he's like, no, I don't. And he threw his fire.
Element.
Yeah, that's so awesome. It was so cool to see him. And he went to the premiere dressed as Bowser.
Oh, wow. Nah, well, I always want to see that.
Yeah. And actually, Anya Taylor-Joy, who plays Princess Peach, she went to the premiere of the movie.
Oh, wow.
Dressed as
That's
Princess
pretty
Peach. I will say this. So a big part of the movie, like there was kind of this controversy drama, was that Chris Pratt, he didn't change his voice for the movie. What did you think? Because in the original, so I mean, have you heard? You know, it's me, Mario. You know.
I feel like I've heard it, but not to really know any different. You know, from like anybody's voices. Yeah.
So probably it's a good idea to have you on because you did.
Right.
No, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, his voice didn't change," and he didn't change his voice to be with the character or whatever.
I mean, honestly, it sounded good to me. Like I honestly didn't see anything like, oh, this doesn't match his character or whoever. But I enjoyed it, so I didn't think anything was wrong.
So in the beginning, I did like how they handled this. So in the beginning, you see the little commercial that they have, and they do it there. He does the accent there, where he's like, "It's a me, I'm Mario," and then they explain that that's a joke. Like so, when he's talking like that. He's like, do you think
he's putting on a face?
Yeah, he's like, do you think the accents were maybe a little too much, you know? And Luigi is like, oh no, I think it was okay, you know. So they kind of talked about that. That's just to go with the acting.
Okay.
I think that his character not having the original accent, the flamboyantly Italian accent, was okay. It didn't bother me at all. No. And I did like how because he didn't do the voice, they then made a joke about it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting what they do in Italy. Because my wife is from Italy. It'll be interesting. I want to now. I want to go because we're going to go to Italy. I want to go to Italy and watch it in Italian.
Oh wow! Just see their reactions. Yeah.
Well, to see what his voice sounds like because they'll have an Italian. They'll have an Italian person dub over him.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It should sound like the regular Mario.
Yeah. I did like how Mario and Luigi are just basically normal dudes. Like so you know in you have Donkey Kong, you have Bowser. Super strong, fire breathing, different, you know, you have magic in the world, flying monsters, all that stuff. And Mario and Luigi are just like, what the? That's why
I was so surprised of the background when they were like, they're just plumbers. Like, I'm assuming like Mario, I'm thinking like everybody just running and hopping. And I thought it just would have been like a more like action packed, but just to see them come from this like a regular job is like wow.
Yeah. You know, in the original video games that came out, it was just for Game Boy and stuff, and they were really fun games and stuff, but you didn't have, you know, Game Boy. I mean, you play video games when you're young, you know. They didn't have like hey, this is Mario, this is who he is, this is where he comes from. So people just started playing and it was fun, but then you know, in the back of my mind before this movie and before some other video games that came out maybe where they would have actual dialogue, people talking, I would even think too, it's weird that you just have this plumber. Like it's a funny thing. Yeah. It's a video game ism is what I call it. It's like it's a fun little thing to have a fat plumber running around saving the world. Right? Okay. And they did it good here because when you bring it to basically what is like a grounding it and giving it dialogue, giving it narrative, he's just a normal guy. Right. He's just a normal guy. He's a plumber. He's good at his job as a plumber, but he's not like, you know, he's not Thor. Right. You know,
they didn't give him any like big muscles or nothing like that.
He's not Captain America. Exactly. Which makes it, you know, so you get that kind of hero's journey. So it's like, I'm just some normal, or like you like Harry Potter. You seen Harry Potter? You haven't seen Harry Potter? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring Shima back. And we're going to watch the Harry Potter movies. We'll review them together.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. But so in Harry Potter, you know the story. Like he goes to wizarding school. Yes. That's really all you need to know. There's a scene though where they come and they tell him you're a wizard. Okay. And he says, I'm not a wizard. I'm Harry. He's
like a regular person.
Well, he actually says, his actual words are, I'm not a wizard, I'm Harry. I'm just Harry. You know, and then the guy says, well, Harry, have you ever done anything that you couldn't explain? You know, and he says, oh, I guess I have. You know, okay. Here, obviously, Mario has not used magic before. At the end of this movie, I can just imagine somebody going to Mario and be like, hey, Mario, you know, you're just a normal guy.
Are you sure about that?
There's obviously, it's really cool to just see a normal guy take on a role and be like, I'm gonna do this.
And then I also like how like they had him like running the course as like he was trying to learn, build up his confidence to get there, and made it show, like you said, kind of like the hero story. Like you see him working to get to where he wants to be. So I thought that was pretty neat too.
A big part of that, and this is kind of my next note, is that he's really strong at heart.
Mm-hmm.
You really see him like a big part of his motivations in this movie is he just wants to go. He doesn't even really want to be a hero or save the day. He just wants to get his
for his family.
He wants to get his brother and he wants to go home.
Yeah,
wants to save his brother because some stuff happens with Luigi, and he wants to get his brother and go home. And in order to do that, okay,
right,
but he does what's right and he does what he needs to do, and there's even scenes where you actually see it's an animated character, so it's not like watching a person emote and stuff, but you actually see him
but you're supposed to be able to feel it, like even though this animated is not an actual person, but since it's a character, you got to be able to feel the emotion.
And you do, and you see him being like, no, like this, I'm gonna save my brother,
I'm gonna do this.
This is I have heart,
yeah, for sure.
And then so then I do want to say with Seth Rogen's character Donkey Kong, it's really cool. So the original Mario game before he became his own, like the big franchise was Donkey Kong stood on top of this, was at the top of the game, and you had your little Game Boy, and you had to jump over barrels that Donkey Kong was throwing down, and basically the game was literally like Donkey Kong's here, and there's these path you have to take, and he's throwing barrels, and you have to run up, jump over the barrels, and then make it to Donkey Kong. So you make it to Donkey Kong and kick him off of his platform. That's what platforms. You kick him off the platform. That's the game. Okay. So literally, the original idea of Mario and Donkey Kong was that they were enemies.
Oh wow!
So it's cool.
Right.
Donkey Kong comes in, and again, it's in the trailers. Not really spoilers, but just light getting into what it is. They battle each other. I thought that was pretty cool. Just a cool callback to the games.
Yeah.
And then you have some character arcs with Donkey Kong and Mario. Mario is just a normal guy. Donkey Kong is like this superhuman giant ape. Okay, but Mario, he's trying to prove himself. And then you kind of see the same idea with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it too much, but just you see the same idea, and they start to do what they need to do with the movie. They kind of meet eye to eye, trying to prove themselves to their family, to the people in their lives. That was cool. It's a good heart-to-heart movie.
Yeah, I really liked the movie. I mean, like I said, with me not knowing much about Mario and none of that good stuff, I think overall it was really a decent movie.
Yeah, and it has depth.
Yeah,
the point in me pointing out like the character arcs is that it's more than just flashing colors and stuff. It is flashing colors. It is the bright, vibrant colors and high energy, but it also has a little bit of depth.
Yeah.
There's also an arc with Luigi. Luigi is a coward, and he has always been in the movies. So a good callback to the games, and then him dealing with that because they're obviously fighting this big evil monster, and so be scared of that. Okay, so then that's what I have for characters and acting. I think that it was well acted. I think that the casting was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Some people, like I said, some people did complain about Chris Pratt, but I think in the end product it turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was anything, like there was any character that I could think like, oh, maybe this person would have been the guy to do,
Yeah. I think it all went well.
Yeah. Okay, so then moving on. We'll move on to the miscellaneous section. So this is just anything else.
Okay.
Anything else. I'll start us off with just one. So like I thought the music was great.
Yeah.
I thought the music was great. We talked about the animation being really great. My wife always makes fun of me because I like old music. And then she said to me, oh, I love the music in this movie. And I said, yeah, well, that's because all of the music from this movie is like 40 years old.
Oh.
All of the best music.
Right.
Is like the old music. Any things like that you noticed?
Honestly, just when Bowser was singing to Peaches, honestly, I had to ask my boyfriend. I thought like Bowser, like in Peaches was something made up, but I didn't know that was a backstory that they had. So the song, and then of course I teach kindergarten. They've all seen the movie, so they sing that song. So I'm singing it. I'm like throughout the day. I'm like Peaches, Peach. I'm like, oh my goodness, the Mario movie. But the music still, I think that part, honestly, just that scene in the movie sold it for me.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because we talked about like Puss in Boots, but then it reminds me of like Shrek, because Shrek is not a musical,
right?
But there's a lot of there's actually musical numbers in it.
Some good songs in there, yeah.
Like with but I mean, even with the characters actually singing, almost like a musical. But and then they do that in this with Bowser, and it was pretty cool, and it's great because I don't know if you knew. You haven't seen Harry Potter, so you probably I don't know if you knew this, but Jack Black is a rock and roll guy. Did you know that? He actually has his own band.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he had Tenacious D.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Okay, and so he actually is like a hardcore rock and roll musician.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So he can sing, and he can play instruments, and he can do all that stuff. So it was cool. He was a great casting character because he's just the right amount of goofy and weird, and then he can sing. And then they had his character sing and stuff like that. I thought that we talked about how there was a sequence that looked like a level of the video game, especially with the construction yard in the beginning of the movie where you see him like jumping and doing all stuff, and you're like, oh, it's just like the game.
And then they have the music, the background music during that scene as well, like the basic music.
Yeah, from the game. And then they had the obstacle course, kind of callback to the game. They had a lot of callbacks to the game that were just cool, like little Easter eggs and stuff. So in the game that you'll see these floating golden boxes. Okay. And you have to run underneath of them, and then you jump. And when you jump, you either get a coin, or sometimes it'll give you a power-up, and there's power-ups in the game. If you watched as they were going through the Mushroom Kingdom, they had these golden boxes, and you'd see these, and they were like the ATM machines where the people were punching and a coin would come out, and it was like the ATM machines. Oh. So I thought that was cool. Yeah. The transport tubes where they get into the tubes and fly around the city, call back to the game. They have the floating bricks, moving platforms, the mushrooms in the game, all kind of cool use of the intellectual property to move this story forward, and cool little Easter eggs. So they have something for. I think so being a person who didn't play the game, was the world as magical as you would have liked?
Yeah, honestly, like I said, with me knowing, not saying nothing about Mario, but knowing a little bit about it, but I mean, the movie, I couldn't expect anything more from it. I think it was literally a good movie, definitely.
Yeah, so the world is magical and you know, fantastical and in all of the ways, and all of that stuff that you're seeing is brought from the video games. So for people who haven't seen the video game, it seems like, yes, this is really interesting, really cool to see. And then for people who have seen the video games or have played the video games, you're going to look at it and go like, oh, I remember that from the game. So that's cool. They have go-karts. The kart, so there's Mario Kart, which is a racing game. Okay. And all of those karts are in the racing game, and they have like all the blue shell and all that stuff. So that was really cool. One last thing that I do want to mention is they have that little depressing sprite who's really morbid. You know what I'm talking about? The little flame guy who's like, oh, the sweet release of death.
Oh, yeah, he was in the cage, yeah.
There's more of him than you see in the trailers. Because in the trailers, he's funny, but there's more of him than you see in the trailers, and he's always really funny. And so it's really cool. I did like him.
They was always telling him to stop or something like that,
Oh, my God, it's depressing stuff. So, and then, moving into, so they had post-credit scenes. They had two, no spoilers, but just post-credit scenes. The first one was, they have like a mid-credit scene, so the first one was funny, and then the second one teases a sequel, and you don't even know. You haven't played the games. It teases a character that everybody who plays the Mario video games will know and love. So yeah. Definitely sequel.
It makes me want to go watch it.
You're gonna see it. Yeah, the second post-credit scene teases a sequel with a really cool character, so that's gonna be exciting.
Okay.
So anything else you want to mention? Who's this movie for?
What you mean? Who's this? Like,
who's it for? So obviously, I mean, I'll say like it's not rated R, so you can bring your kids. But what audience? Where do you think that? What people should go see this movie?
Anybody, like I said, anybody who hasn't seen Mario, people who played the Mario game back when. I mean, it's anybody from old to young. Anybody should go see it, honestly.
All right, awesome. So then we'll start off. You want to start off with doing the final review, final statement of review score. So here's what it is.
Okay.
Remember, I told you. So before we started recording, I said, do you remember what I told you in the beginning of the final statement of review score? Okay. Do you remember the categories?
Yes.
Okay. No, before we started recording, I broke this down. So we have 5 tiers.
Okay.
We have bad, below average, average, above average, and excellent. And excellent is like world changing. Bad is, obviously really bad. I don't think that this movie's bad, but we also have a reverse scale. So if it's bad, it's like there's good, bad, and there's actually bad. But yeah, so let's give us kind of your summarizing. Like if you had to go to somebody who knew nothing about the movie, hadn't seen the movie, maybe he hadn't even played the games, and you had to tell them about this to convince them to either go and see it or not to go. Tell us the whole thing. Summarize it into a paragraph for us. Because you're a teacher too, so give us a summary paragraph. And then give us a categorical where it falls on our tiers here.
Okay, my final review of this movie, with not having much Mario background at all, I think it's definitely a must-see. I think just, again, Bowser sold it for me. So if you've seen that clip, that's definitely not all what the movie has in store. But overall, I think I give the movie above average. Again, without me having any Mario background, I kind of feel like now I want to go back and play the game, or now I want to go back and learn all this other stuff. So I'll definitely give it above average for me.
Okay, awesome, excellent, and I'll tell you, I agree. I think that something that we kind of talked about with production with Disney is that they've really lost out on the kids market,
right?
On good family films. Now some of the stuff that they have brought forward, like I said, Strange World. Strange World and like the Buzz Lightyear movie. They tried to really have this really maybe more complicated narrative. And I mean, if you do it right, that can work, right?
Right.
Even for kids' movies. Here, they said, forget all of that.
Right, this
is
simple.
Mario. This is Mario. Everybody knows Mario, and we're just going to have, we know what we're going to do. I mean, basically, this movie really breaks down into like 3 sequences, like 3 parts where you have like introductory of what the problem is, on the way to go fix the problem, and then the final thing.
Right.
Okay. And that's perfect.
Right.
And it's fun. And the acting is fun. And it's high energy. And it's cool colors and all of this. And it just all comes together really well. And I think it's just great to see somebody finally catering. There's probably going to be people who say, there's fan service. And people hate fan service because, you're doing all this stuff just to impress the fans. Why don't you just work on making a good movie? Impressing your fans and giving people what they want is making a good movie. So,
that's what makes the movie.
Yeah. So I would say that this, I wouldn't say that it's excellent because it, like I said, there are, it's not that there are problems, but it's not an excellent movie.
Right.
It's not changing the world. It's not the Avengers Endgame, actually I think that Infinity War was better. So it's not the Avengers Infinity War of animated movies, but man, it is close. I would say a high above average. I mean, it's almost excellent. And probably the sequel will be
even better. Yeah,
it's going to be even better because, like I said, that now that they've, I think it had $100 million budget. They've made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then now the next time they're going to come in and they say, let's do more.
Right.
And so we'll maybe get a longer movie. We'll get more. Just more.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good to see. So definitely, with this teasing of a sequel, watch out for the sequel, guys. So anything else you want to say to the audience before we go?
No, I'll just say be great, stay focused on your goals, and live your life. Yeah.
And go and check out, now I got to read it again, because go and check out, what is it?
Luxury Girl the Empire.
Luxury Girl the Empire, and then your Twitter?
Oh, well, I have Instagram and Facebook, and all of it's the same tagline name is LGTE Beauty. Okay, so go check out LGTE Beauty. Thank you for watching, guys. From everybody here at Mike's After Us Reviews, we want to thank you for all your support. We hope that you appreciate the changes we made in this. If you did like the way that we changed up the way we did characters and acting, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, guys. That's all we've got today, guys. We do want to thank you all one last time and just say God bless you all and have a good night.